Hello and welcome to Gabe's Games. Thank you so much for coming to see me play some more Marvel Avengers beta today. The first thing that I wanted to do was say, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, the world will sorely miss you. Wakanda forever. Honestly, that news is so sad. I just didn't expect it. This video will show you how to get to the harm room. Anyway, I hope Black Panther is now a playable character in this new game, because that would be awesome. Anyway, let's play some more Marvel Avengers beta. I actually don't mind the soundtrack. Okay, cool, we've reached the loading screen, or the next part of the actual thing. So what I need to do now is just continue, and I'll show you.
Now that the neural uplink has been successfully installed, I can access my full database. Director Hill is reviewing the S.H.I.E.L.D. protocols that you also recovered.
Feeling better, Jarvis?
Everything seems to be in working order.
You have no idea how much this means to me. To S.H.I.E.L.D. Thank you, Bruce. You too, Kamala. With this, I can start rebuilding S.H.I.E.L.D. in earnest. If you ever need anything, give me a call. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of each other.
Looking forward to it, Director.
I feel like I should salute or something.
No need for that. Good luck, both of you.
Jarvis, you think you can get us Tony?
This will take some time, but I should be able to find Mr. Stark. In the meantime, I've uncovered something that might be of interest to Ms. Khan in the harm room.
The what now?
The holographic augmented reality machine. Something the Avengers use for training.
Whoa, that sounds awesome.
The harm room is actually where we can train and become better at all the different Avengers in this game. It's a really cool training tool.
Maybe a little irregular.
Is this safe?
Only 0.0001% chance of injury.
Okay. I trust you, I guess.
Proceed through the crew quarters. The harm room is on the lower floor of the hangar bay.
Thanks, Jarvis.
That's a ridiculously low chance of injury. That's fine. Nothing's going to happen to you at all, Kamala. So basically, what you want to do is you want to keep on going straight, past Bruce's room to the left, and keep on going straight through the door in front of you. I didn't think it was a door. There's going to be a conversation with Jarvis here, and then you keep on going.
Blurry footage from an older phone, but there's no mistaking what it shows. The Incredible Hulk wreaking havoc somewhere in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, we're back at it.
Received this from an anonymous source.
This is where the Avengers hung out. Do you think there's still soda in these? Probably all flat after 5 years.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's 5 years after A-Day. That's interesting to know. Where's Cap been for 5 years? Oh, I can't wait to figure out.
2 soda machines?
The second one was installed at Mr. Odinson's request. It dispensed mead. There used to be a sign.
And if so, does that herald a return?
Mr. Odinson. Thor, clearly. I can't actually wait to see that in the game. That's going to be really, really cool. Just to see him drinking mead out of a can. They really nailed the characters in this game.
It's still hard to believe all this is real. I mean, I just flew on a Quinjet to a secret S.H.I.E.L.D. base. We saw Nick Fury, and now I'm talking to Jarvis and not keeping my cool at all. Sorry.
No need to apologize, Miss Khan.
We all know and love the Avengers, but they did a very good job of translating the film Avengers to this game, it seems. And if I was in Kamala's shoes, I would absolutely be as hyped up as she is, because it would be such an awesome experience to be surrounded by everybody, Jarvis and the Avengers and the whole world. That would be so cool. I wonder what the other Avengers experience as they play as other Avengers. It must be super weird for Tony Stark to play as the Hulk and vice versa.
Ready.
Powering up.
The harm room. Welcome to holographic augmented reality machine or harm. Cool.
What?
Yes! Ah!
I'm Iron Man!
Indeed. I patched in Mr. Stark's old combat simulator. I hope you don't mind.
Are you kidding? I am Iron Man! Do your worst, virtual bad guys!
Yes! This feels so good! I love playing as Iron Man, he's the best! Oh man, take me on, robots! I got you! Come on! This is so cool! He just looks and feels exactly like the film Iron Man. It's such a good translation of him. Oh, it's awesome! And I think also the way that he moves his hands, just now that I think about it, reminds me of a martial artist dude, just doing some fancy hand movements. It's pretty cool. Counter. Okay, cool. So I've been feeling that this works similar to the Dark Souls parry, meaning that you can only actually use it at a certain point. Like that. Yes! Oh, I'm so glad that it actually does damage as well. It's really good to have a counter mechanic which actually hurts the enemy as well. Otherwise, I feel like all the skill that I'm actually putting into using my defensive abilities could be used to attack. As far as I understand, intrinsic energy just refers to your ability to actually swap from rockets to lasers to ordinary pulsar attacks. It basically is just a rechargeable ability that enables you to actually use your better attacks. Now that I figured out how to actually use Iron Man's block ability, this is great. I have a feeling that Iron Man's going to be really easily defeated, but I can't wait to actually just use him and take on enemies and hit them and shoot them and I want to take on hordes of bad guys. I want to level him up. I want to use all of his attacks. So far so good. We're actually doing a good number on these guys. We know what we're doing. Reasonably at least. I feel like we just need to hit them a whole bunch of times with my easy attack. And that'll build up my intrinsic energy. Oh, more bad guys. Okay, let's take you out. I have to admit, I am really satisfied just hearing the thunk as you hit them. Thunk, thunk. Oh, vaulting. Sure, I gotta do it sometimes with different enemies, but I really don't like doing this in comparison to knowing that I now have a superhero who can do amazing things. I just want to use my special attacks and destroy these guys. I don't have to vault all the time. It's like, what's your superhero's biggest challenger enemy? The guy with the shield. My arch nemesis, the guy with the shield.
If I had hands, I would applaud.
Thanks, Jarvis. Not too hard. I don't want to have to spam that in actual combat, though. When I'm in actual combat, I just want to kill everything. Hero flight! Oh, we can fly! Yes! The ceiling for this isn't capped. We can go! We can fly! We can boost! Oh, that feels so good! Oh, that's amazing! It's like playing as Batman Arkham City's Batman. It's like swinging through the air as Spider-Man in the Spider-Man PS2 game and the one which came out recently in 2018. That's so good! I feel like Iron Man is going to be a game changer for me. I enjoyed aspects of this before I got into Iron Man, and now I am like, oh my god, this is so good. As much as I said that the timing of this is interesting because Tony Stark is dead in the films, playing as Iron Man feels like the best character you can play as Iron Man. He feels so good. He flies, he shoots, he just does everything you want him to. He just feels amazing in this game. I almost think that this is worth it just because of Iron Man. Just because of Iron Man. That's incredible. I can't wait to play as Cap as well, but Iron Man is so good in this game, it is unreal. Oh man, if you love the Iron Man films, if you love the Avengers films, and you just spent hundreds of hours watching Tony Stark blast things to bits, you relive it here. You relive it exactly the way that you wanted to relive it. It's so good. Oh man. Again, thank you Marvel, Square Enix, and Crystal Dynamics for giving us this beta for free. That is incredible. Thank you so much. I feel like people should buy this game just because of Iron Man. Add in the fact that Cap will feel amazing to play, I'm already sold. Honestly, so good. It's interesting because I only had so much time to record and play this beta. So, I'm curious to see what this looks like and how I feel as I play this and what it's actually like to see me playing as Iron Man in this. Because all I did, and I can remember playing this, was just really focus on getting down as much good combat as I could. So, see how we go. If you are enjoying my Iron Man gameplay so far, and you would like to see me play Iron Man in the Avengers beta, and also as Iron Man in the Avengers game when I get it, please like and subscribe, that'd be great. Because he is definitely my favourite, as well as Captain America right now. I haven't had enough experience playing both of them yet to say which one is my favourite, but those two are my favourite characters, by far. I can't wait to actually compare them in the game and see who my favourite character actually is. But oh man, does Iron Man feel good. And the way he covers distance and hits, it's awesome. More! Give me more, bad guys. Give me more. You're all going down, guys. Not a chance. We have Iron Man here. Whoop, my recording just passed a little bit there. This is still the same round, still the same area. It just a little bit of a recording end and then started a new one, but it took a bit of time to do that. It's the same me at the same time playing. It just started recording, ended, and started again, but cut out a little bit in between. Oh man, it feels so good just hitting the enemies in the air like that. I cannot praise Iron Man's combat enough. It is so good. Oh, just everything Tony Stark would do is done here. And again, now that I think about it, it's kind of cool. I feel like Iron Man is almost a martial artist with his hands. You see, I would have ordinarily backed off when I face an enemy like this because he's a new enemy and he's a boss, but I feel invincible. This is Iron Man. I'm sure Iron Man can get hurt really easily, but still, you feel great. Oh man, this is just so awesome. I can't wait to fly around cities like this, if I can. Oh, go through actual real-life cities like this. The applications of this are endless. That is so cool. I could literally just go to any part of the world and I would spend hours just shooting things with Iron Man. Like, honestly, would waste so much time just checking out how Iron Man moves in the world. Shooting at the Empire State Building, flying around, checking if my attacks actually do damage to buildings. I'm not sure if you guys ever played Prototype, but that game back in the day was the closest that I actually felt to being a real life superhero in a game. Spider-Man 2 obviously made me feel like a superhero when I was flying around and doing things, and that was great. But I never felt as overpowered as I wanted to be as Spider-Man because he was always limited by not being as strong as some of the greatest superheroes in the superhero universes. But can you imagine being so OP that you are literally like Captain Marvel or something, flying around in a city? The last time I got to do that was literally playing as Prototype, Alex Mercer in Prototype, and actually just going around and doing that. That was the closest I felt to being overpowered in a city. Can't wait to do that as a superhero. Honestly, I referred to Spider-Man as flying around. I correct myself as swinging around. Obviously, he swings. When in doubt, just spam the same attack and get his health down bit by bit. Iron Man is not the best at melee combat, but he does feel really satisfying when he hits. There's nothing wrong with the way Iron Man plays at all. It feels so good immediately from the get-go. You don't even need to upgrade him. He feels great. Yep, this guy's going down, bit by bit. We're doing our work. He's gonna go down very soon, I swear. It's gonna happen. I will defeat this fella very soon. And then we'll have completed the hard room challenge. I feel like Iron Man is fighting the Hulkbuster right now. Yeah, we did it! And boy, does that feel good. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe how awesome that feels. I will rate that highly. That is so incredibly good.
It's over? Let's do it again!
I totally forgot that Kamala was actually voicing that. Yeah. Let's do it again. Okay, cool. So basically, if you were playing the beta and you unlocked the war table, you could actually just go and play a whole bunch of missions in the actual game and figure out what was going on. I found it interesting to navigate the war table. Sometimes where I was going made sense, sometimes it didn't. Also, the difficulty in the war table was really weird because I set this to brutal for the main campaign missions, therefore I assumed that all of the missions in the game were on brutal difficulty. That's not how this works. So for a large part of this game, I actually tried to play on brutal difficulty and didn't realize that it had automatically set me to normal difficulty, and I went, this is really easy for some reason. And then I realized, I went, oh, it's because the difficulty messed up. So some of my combat is going to be on normal and some of it's going to be on brutal difficulty. I'm going to make sure that I play the actual game on brutal difficulty. But for this beta, it's a mix. And I'm really glad that I can actually get some footage of this beta at all, because sometimes it was working and sometimes it wasn't. I'm really glad I snuck in and got it. So it looks like there's a maximum of 10 missions that you can actually do. 6 in the top left corner, 1 mission there, 1 to the right, and then 2 Utah border ones. I completed most of them when I was playing it. I'm confused because I heard there was a whole bunch more missions that you can actually play. Maybe I just didn't get the opportunity to. That being said, my favorite mission was definitely to tame a Titan. That was incredible. And these guys really did play the old PlayStation games which were to do with superheroes. They played Iron Man 2, and the enemies that you had in the Iron Man 2 enemies were modeled here, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like that's exactly like that guy from Iron Man 2. And even the Hulk's thunderclap is the same, and it was cool to have the Hulk take on a big fella in the same way that he used to do in the Incredible Hulk PS2 game. Like, there's so much good in this. So much. So I'm just having a look at possible missions that we can do, and trying to figure out which one I would like to go for next. Because I'm not really sure. But by the time I completed this beta, I feel like I did most missions that were on all of the 4 little sections that I could do. So this is a different recording now. I've decided to show you a little bit more of a particular section of gameplay that I had. And in this part, I actually started to try out the different superheroes. I try out Kamala, I try out Black Widow, and then I go back to Iron Man, and I immediately go, yeah, no, Iron Man is my jam. He feels so good. He's the best out of all of those characters for me. I enjoy playing as Kamala, actually. I really enjoy playing as Kamala a lot. Which I didn't expect to as much as I did, because I thought I'd enjoy playing as the main Avengers the most. And it's cool to have this new character in this world. But I actually really did find myself enjoying playing as Kamala a whole bunch. She's fantastic. So I didn't really manage to level up my characters too much in this game, to be honest, while I was playing the beta. I think I got to like level 11, maybe 13 was my max. I didn't really get very powerful. But I did have a wicked time playing as Iron Man. And once you figure out how to use all of his attacks, everything just opens up so much more. And even when you start playing as him, a little more than just the opening section that they had in that beta where you play as him, it just feels so good. And then when you figure out all of his other attacks, like his laser attacks, his rocket attacks, and all of his other things, you go, oh my god, this is brilliant. It's like they copied every good moment from the Iron Man films.
Is vulnerable to attack. Though there are still security synthoids to contend with, we expect the Avengers should be able to easily prevail. Take out any AIM forces you encounter.
And oh, is it fantastic to have the Avengers in a little ship together. That's so cool. Directly out of that moment in the Avengers 1 films where you have Cap and Thor and some other people actually just sitting in the one little ship. It's so good. I can't wait to hear them have conversations.
Head for the location on your HUD.
Sweet. I've got to admit, I kind of wanted a little bit of dialogue there. Oh man, does that feel so cool. It's amazing. Even the way that he hits after you've actually just been in the, like, harm room, this is so much better. It feels greater in the actual open world. Hashtag mission rooms. Oh yeah. I'm really curious as to what Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix and all of the people involved in this project have actually done in between the beta release and the actual game release. Because the game release is so close, so I'm curious as to what they may have improved in the period of time there, because there's not too much time. Love the way that he does that. That's so cool. I could just literally watch Iron Man play for ages. Just the way that he moves. Just the way that he glides across the floor. The way that he flies. Ooh, this looks like a whole bunch of bad guys in a room. You're trapped in here with me. We're gonna take you all out. Ah, damn. Too eager. Oh, let's go. Man, so cool. Honestly, so cool. Just yes. 1,000 times yes. Oh, I can't wait to get more powerful too, and I can figure out how to actually utilize him better. And the more practice I get will be great, because I only really got a little bit of practice with Iron Man. The more practice I get with him, the better I am going to play. And I am going to play a lot as Iron Man, I can tell you that already. It's going to be really good. So I figured out his actual special abilities. Right trigger, or R1, is actually just his Unibeam. Left trigger disables all shields and electronics that are around you. And the upwards one calls the Hulkbuster. I didn't realize that at first. It took me a while to get used to it. Also used to get really confused as to left bumper, right trigger, left trigger. Because I play on all consoles, and when I started playing more on different things, for example, I'd play on my friend's Xbox occasionally or something along those lines, when they'd say left bumper, right trigger, I'd be like, can it not just be L1, L2, R1, R2? Like, surely that's easier to say and think than even left bumper, L1. So I play in everything. I have a PS1, 2, 3, and 4. I have an original Xbox and Halo. I play some games in PC, and I have an alright gaming PC at this point. So it's just one of those things where I play in everything, and it's interesting to see if you're used to one style of gaming, how everybody will prefer that, obviously. Like, I spent a lot of time playing PlayStation, and when I started playing Xbox, therefore, it was just, like, different. But even being a Halo fan, and really enjoying the Halo games, I still don't understand how L1 is more difficult to remember than left bumper. And maybe it's just that we're so used to what we actually grew up playing on, which makes sense. I really hope this game goes down in fame is the same way that the Spider-Man on PS2 did, because Spider-Man 2 on PS2 was incredible, and I still love that game. I hope that this game receives a similar level of fandom. Because it's not like I was ever hankering for a game where I could play as the Avengers, but of course we love the Avengers. It's fantastic to be able to actually have any sort of utilization of them at all in a video game. But in this case, Iron Man is great, Cap is great. At the very least, those two, play them. Oh man, this just feels so good. I love flying around in areas too and just taking my time figuring out where the enemy is. I feel like my issue with playing as Iron Man, though, is not an actual issue with gameplay or with anything else. It's that he is the worst helper. When your allies die, he is really bad at helping, because if he actually tries to revive, he dies in 2 seconds. So Iron Man is perfect, but he dies so easily. I don't even think that's at the detriment of the game, though. It just makes sense. I could voice over everything in this section, and I could just tell you how much I love playing as Iron Man for the whole time, but you already know that, so I'm just going to occasionally come in for bits and pieces with my voice, because I love everything in this, and I could continue to say that it's just fantastic, and it is, but I'm just going to let it go for a minute, and not voice over all of it. However, I've just got stuck. That's not fun. How rude! Yes! Mission accomplished! Or mission complete. Oh my goodness, that felt so incredibly awesome to play. And again, Square Enix, Marvel, and Crystal Dynamics, I cannot praise you guys enough for what you have done here with Iron Man. This is beyond incredible, and I cannot wait to play more of it. Thank you so much. This is amazing.
But this should significantly weaken their capabilities.
Sweet, so next we're just going to actually play as other Avengers and compare what I feel like to play as them. First we're going to go as Kamala, then it's Black Widow, and then we go back to Iron Man. And I can tell you right away, I prefer Iron Man 100%. Black Widow feels alright, actually. She feels pretty cool as well. So let's get to it. And I went over the 3 because I didn't think that was a 3 out of 5 at all. I think it's 4 out of 5. But I was curious as to if one good character in a video game justifies the video game being an amazing video game. And in some games I would say no. You can't have one standout character and some other characters which don't feel amazing. But because this is Iron Man, and because I've literally wanted to feel how good that was for a long time, ever since the Iron Man PS2 game which came out, they nailed that so well. So my experience so far with this beta has been really good. it was obviously past a 3 out of 5 when I was playing the Hulk and the other stuff. And then when I met Iron Man, it actually made it so much more. And that brought it up definitely to a very easy 4 out of 5. And I'm always of the opinion that, you know, one good character in a video game does not make a 4 out of 5 experience for a video game. But they have also given me a fantastic experience with Cap. And so it was the combination of Cap and Iron Man and the general nostalgia of playing as all these characters, which makes it a good game for me. If they'd just given me Iron Man and also under-delivered on the Hulk a little bit, which I feel like it's possible they've done here, then I wouldn't have actually been able to, in good conscience, just give it that high rating because it didn't feel amazing to play as the Incredible Hulk. Although it had really good moments in it, there were just moments in his combat which didn't feel smooth. But because playing as Iron Man is so good, and because playing as Cap is so good, it brings it up a little bit better, and there is so much more to enjoy in this game, and it's definitely worth playing. But I do have to consider how I think about this game, because it is not exactly what I wanted on all areas of it, so I have to think about it. It is great in some aspects, and also in some aspects is okay. But this is the beta. It's a pretty cool beta. And I feel like I'm really going to enjoy playing the whole game, no matter what.
We have an opportunity to take them out before AIM can deploy the squad against the Resistance. This is a quick hit-and-run operation. Take out the targets and return to us unharmed if possible.
You've given me the ability to play as the Avengers, and that is so incredibly cool. Thank you so much to the developers of this game for giving us this experience, because previously we had nothing. Also, I am just musing over in my mind if one good character can make a video game. And I'm not too sure that there are many games that pull that off. Particularly in games when you have multiple protagonists.
Look out! Got some bad guys. You're going down.
So one good character isn't enough, I don't feel. But Kamala is good. The Hulk is okay, he's not bad. Captain America is great. And Iron Man is amazing. So you have a few good characters. And this is the beta. Such a good beta. I can't wait to see what they've actually done with the actual game. Oh my goodness, that'll be amazing. So it's not just one good character. It is a bunch of actual good characters and some okay ones. Nothing is bad in this game. There really isn't anything bad. To say that something is bad in this game is just, I feel like, being ungrateful. We had nothing. And now I get to play superheroes. I think at this point I actually managed to have a look at my difficulty because I was so confused as to the difficulty settings. Because obviously I've set the main campaign difficulty as brutal, but it says that there's 4 levels of difficulty. But with the 4 levels of difficulty, it doesn't say easy, medium, hard, brutal, or whatever else the difficulty levels are. It just was so confusing how they did this, I think. Like, it had difficulty level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those aren't easy, medium, hard, brutal. It just, yeah, it made no sense to me. I also, at this point, made sure that I checked the difficulty level, because I was like, that doesn't feel right. I've played on brutal with Kamala, and that was incredibly hard. This is easy. I just felt it immediately. I usually like playing on hard, and so it was just like, the challenge level is not right. Enemies are just dying. Like, what was happening? So overall, this part is my impression of playing as Kamala again. And again, I love playing as Kamala. They got that so right. She is really good. The way that she hits, the way that she slides, and the way that she climbs up things is really cool. It's a really enjoyable experience playing as her. She's a solid protagonist. I like her, you relate to her, she's really good. I'm happily going to play as Kamala through this game. It's going to be fantastic. The other thing is, obviously Iron Man is 100% my favourite. I'm not going to lie. I really, really, really love playing as Iron Man, and I enjoy playing as Kamala. Like, there's just a difference. And obviously it's just the fandom of being able to relive the moments from the actual films with Iron Man's combat. Playing as Kamala is really good. I feel like if Ant-Man turned that big and did some cool stuff, I would fan boy a whole bunch over that more. Like, I'd be like, whoa! Although I kind of get a fandom moment for me. I'm like, oh, that's wicked! But obviously, because maybe I don't know anything about Miss Marvel. So I am not as knowledgeable as to what her abilities are. Play as her though, she is fantastic to play. Feels great. I really like the sound that she makes when she hits enemies. Like the thunk that she actually makes is really, really satisfying. And she's really good against multiple enemies as well. When you're getting swarmed, I really like the feeling that she gets when she can just stretch out her arms and attack people. Also, her stretchy attack from a distance is really cool. And her turning into a giant person and hitting people feels really great. And the fact that she can still move really smoothly as that giant person is awesome. I like her combat. She's really good. Out of the Avengers in this game, Kamala is actually one of my favourites to play, I've got to admit. She feels really, really good. So far, I haven't had enough playtime with Thor to actually know what I feel about playing as Thor. It's not bad, it feels pretty good. Obviously, I've only had a couple of seconds as playing as him, and it was my first time, because I can't repeat that intro that I did. This is literally my first time playing it, so I don't know what it's going to be like playing more as Thor. And playing as the Hulk when you first play him is good, and then like you play more as him and you discover that there's things that you maybe like or don't like, and some people will love him, and that's really good, and then when I play as Iron Man, obviously that just clicks for me. But hey, it's always going to be individual depending on your preference and how you play this game. Yay, mission complete! Okay, cool! Playing as Kamala, thumbs up. Feels great. Really, really good. Play as her.
Good job, Avengers. With this victory, you've weakened AIM and given the Resistance a leg up. Keep it up.
Yeah, that felt pretty good. And at this part, I think I give this particular section of the game a 3, because I enjoyed that, I just didn't feel blown away by it, and I just didn't want to overpraise everything in this. Because 3 out of 5 is good, 4 out of 5 I was really impressed, and 5 out of 5 is literally like perfect. In terms of how this game works, obviously they're asking for like what my experience would be and how I would rate it as a game. I don't have a system for rating games necessarily, but in terms of a 5-star rating, that would probably be a 3. The Iron Man section before was definitely a 4. Sweet! Alright, we're doing really cool. I can't wait to actually hear more about AIM and the world around it. Although, I'm not sure if I'd be playing the game to take out Tarleton, to be honest. The villain doesn't fascinate me as much. It'll be the superheroes in this. Alright, cool, so now I'll get to play as Black Widow. I hope that they mention and refer to Budapest in this, because honestly that would be really cool. Also, that moment in Avengers Endgame where they refer to Budapest is hilarious. I mean, it's great, and it's also funny because Budapest never comes back into the Avengers at all, except for the moment they went, oh yeah, you remember we talked about that? Budapest.
Access to AIM's laboratory pods. Defend the lab's main access point while I hack into their system. Warning. This area will be well defended.
Let's take him out!
Sweet. So, there's so many games with this kind of mission already. I suppose I remember Destiny 2 copying a whole bunch of flack for this kind of mission style. Defend the place. Get attacked by hordes of enemies. And up until that point, I'd almost happily done that in games, and then I realized that maybe I should question whether or not Horde mode is a legitimately good way to play a game. And I do not think that Horde mode is a good way to play a game anymore, because I realized that it's just so repetitive. It can be done in a way that doesn't feel bad. Actually, I have to admit, playing as Black Widow feels really good. She's fantastic to play as. I love her style of shooting, reminds me of Devil May Cry, and also the way that she hits is really cool. She feels smooth and dangerous, and she actually does a lot of damage. When she hits, you feel like she packs a punch. I'm pretty impressed with how she feels to play, honestly. Kamala and Black Widow feel very, very good to play. I do not think Black Widow is my fave. I have not spent a whole bunch of time with her yet, but she does feel really good. And playing missions as Black Widow is actually going to be really, really fun. She's good. Take me to Budapest and let me do a mission with you there. I love these movies. I just couldn't help but giggle there. Oh man, she feels so smooth. She's really a smooth Avenger. She feels so good in that sense. Like her movement is incredibly good. That backflip kick that she did as well is really awesome. I can't wait to grapple onto enemies a lot more and actually use that. Yeah, she's really good. She moves well, she hits well, she shoots really cool, and it's really stylish. I just wish I had a whole bunch more time to play her in the beta, but I was so interested in playing as Iron Man at the time. I like her, she's really, really good. And I can't wait to get more opportunities to play as her. She's a really good Avenger to play as. Would definitely recommend playing as Black Widow. Feels great. Let me think, who are my favourite female protagonists in games? Shepard, 100%. My Shepard is always a girl in Mass Effect. Always girl. Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider games, absolutely. Still such a good game. I've got to replay that and actually do this for it at some point. Love the Tomb Raider games. Also, Ellie. Always Ellie. Ellie is my number one. Always Ellie. I still cry in that scene in The Last of Us where she says, "What are you so afraid of?"
Through the first firewall. I'm working as quickly as possible.
Thanks, Jarvis. You do that, buddy. That'd be great. It's just a flesh wound. You've got no arms left. oh man. I love Monty Python. I rewatch The Holy Grail occasionally. It's so good. Also, in terms of my favourite moments in The Last of Us, that DLC is still up there with one of my favourite moments in gaming. The pun section that they have there, so good, and also just really, really well constructed. Love that DLC. I feel like the freeze abilities they have in this are actually really, really tricky. It's going to take a lot of work for me to actually figure out how to get around, all of that, and I have no gear at this point. Black Widow is really not very well leveled up, so when I level her up, I'm really curious as to see if she becomes one of my more favourite Avengers, because I'm sure she can pack a punch when she needs to. Turning invisible there was dope. That was so cool. I feel like if you want a medic in the field, that's Black Widow. She's good in a whole bunch of different other ways as well, but what I think is that in terms of her turning invisible and healing her mates, that sounds like a really good plan. She actually hits so hard as well. Her physical attacks are really strong.
That did it. Nice work.
Hey, alright! Finished playing as Black Widow. Okay, so my impression so far, I played a little bit of her as the beginning of the beta, and that was really good fun. That battle with Taskmaster, I felt like was pretty easy on Brutal. Particularly the section where they just come down and you shoot at him and then dodge. Like, you just dodge a couple of times. It's not that difficult. But, like, playing as her feels good. She hits really well, and I like how she hits. Her combat gives me some, like, Devil May Cry feels, which is really good. She shoots really well, and when she turns invisible, it's really good. So all around, Black Widow feels like a good, agile, fast character to play as, which suits the assassin very well. So yeah, 3 out of 5, because 3 is good. 4 blew my mind. And I reckon I like playing Black Widow as much as I like playing Kamala. I've just had more experience playing as Kamala. And the experience of this game so far has been very much a solid 4 out of 5 for me. I've really enjoyed it, and it's been really, really good. So even if I give moments of the game a 3 out of 5 experience, this is a good game from the looks of things. I am enjoying it. It looks good. I can't wait to play and buy it. And this beta is free. Thank you so much all who worked on this game so that we could have this free beta. This is wicked. Yep, swap straight back to Iron Man. I have to admit, Iron Man is my jam. It's just so good. It feels amazing. I really, really like playing as Iron Man. I'm not going to swap up much, I reckon. Maybe during gameplay, I'll pick and choose probably 4 or 5 favorite Avengers to play as, but Iron Man is going to be up there, definitely. Captain America as well. I can't really think of which ones I'd rank, so it'll probably be Iron Man number 1, 2 Kamala, 3 Black Widow, 4 Thor, 5 Hulk currently. But I really haven't had enough experience to actually rate it properly. Also, my apologies for just voicing over all the Jarvis moments. I just feel like the Jarvis moments there aren't necessarily that unique. It's get in the game, go find a thing, and do a mission objective. And it's very similar with the mission objectives as well, so Ah, damn, my recording skipped a little bit there. It just like skipped a tiny bit. Same recording, same time playing. For me, it was just like it did a little bit of a skip. Oh man, this feels awesome. I really think that they actually stole the lasers that they're shooting at me from Iron Man's technology, because it feels like exactly the same lasers that you use. Also, there's this laser attack that Iron Man will use at some point, which comes directly from the moment in Iron Man 2, where War Machine and Iron Man are being surrounded by a whole bunch of robots, and Iron Man spins around and activates his lasers. That attack's what he uses. And maybe not at some point in this video, but definitely in this series, I have used this attack, and it's wicked. The other thing that's on my mind is I wish that there were actually a whole bunch more female superheroes in this universe, because I feel like a lot of the actual superheroes are just guys, which is cool, but also I just, you know, I would like to see more women in the superhero universe.
Sent forces to stop you.
Oh, that felt so satisfying to play. Oh man, can't wait to take all these guys out. Bam, bam! The way that he hits is just so good. It feels really connected. And I love the way that he moves his hands. It's just so cool. The way that he actually fires his blasts. It's, again, it's so awesome. I can go on about this forever. So before I do, I'm actually just going to let more of the gameplay just roll. You've heard me go over about how awesome Iron Man is. Now just watch me play just for a minute and observe how I play as Iron Man for yourself. Please enjoy.
Turbine is finished. Well done.
Alright, last turbine here. So I really like just focusing on hitting them with a whole bunch of triangle attacks, which are the ones where he tends to use his... But I can tell you right now, I did not expect to be ambushed by two of these huge mechas. Oh damn. Oh, we did a Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Okay, cool! There you go, mission complete. Again, I love playing as Iron Man. He is just the best. I'm going to spend the majority of my time playing as Iron Man when this game comes out. Also, I'm going to spend the majority of my time playing the beta as Iron Man.
You wreaked some impressive havoc, and now AIM is scrambling to recover their lost research. More attacks like this, and AIM won't stay in power long.
We wreaked some impressive havoc. Exactly what the Avengers are good for. Destroying things. That was sensational. 4 out of 5, blew my mind. Playing as Iron Man always does. It's just so good. Alright, I think I'll finish this video here. Thank you so much for coming to see some more of Gabe's games today. If you like this gaming content and would like to see more and would like to see me play through this beta and also see me play the game, please like and subscribe. That'd be great. Thanks for watching.